Hi, I'm Emily. I'm the External Affairs Manager for Integra Resources, and I'm also the President of the Women's Mining Coalition. Integra is a development stage mining company with assets in Idaho, Nevada, and Arizona, and as the External Affairs Manager, my job is to work with our local communities to ensure that everyone is informed about what we're proposing to do, and also help provide the conduit to bring the community's feedback, our stakeholders' feedback, into our planning process. The overarching goal is really to build a project that works for everyone. With the Women's Mining Coalition, the Women's Mining Coalition is a national nonprofit mining advocacy organization. We work with decision makers, agency officials, elected officials to bring our perspectives in as women who work in the industry, and just help spread awareness of what mining is, who the people who work in mining are, and what we do for the nation. So what got me interested in working in mining and my backstory. So I'm originally from a small town near Portland, Oregon, and mining was completely foreign to me and my family. We didn't even know, frankly, that it was happening anymore. We definitely had the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs view of mining. And during the recession in 2008, I was an 8th grader or a freshman in high school, and my dad accepted a job at a gold mine in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. He had been working in house building. He had been working in housing construction, and that really wasn't happening at that time in history. And so he kind of needed to do what he needed to do to provide for our family. He went down there. Eventually, the rest of my family followed, including aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings. My mom went down there too. And I was able to go to school in Nevada. I was originally planning to be a nurse. That was my plan. I wanted to be a nurse, and I was working in long-term senior care. When nursing school didn't work out, I ended up working more in the marketing, PR, outreach side of the healthcare system, and an opportunity came up to go join my family at that gold mine in Nevada as a corporate social responsibility specialist. So that really kicked off my career in the mining industry. I think I was 22 when I accepted that job, and it was an absolute life changer for me. I went from making $12 an hour to $70,000 a year, and I thought I was flying high. It was definitely a game changer, not only for my entire family, right? I always say mining really kind of saved us during the recession, but it set me on a path that I wouldn't have otherwise had. More backstory, my parents were teenage parents. I grew up in a single wide trailer. I never thought I would have the opportunities in my life that mining has provided me and my family. A general day in my life, or what my role looks like. So the overarching goal for me as the External Affairs Manager for a mine development company is to gain community support, to earn the trust and support of our local communities. Our job is to not come in and tell the communities we're proposing to operate in what this is going to look like. It's to show up, sit down at the table with everyone, introduce ourselves, and build relationships. So I would say that overall my job is a relationship builder. The thing I love about my job is that no 2 days are the same. There's very few days where I'm just sitting at my desk in front of my computer all day. And sometimes those days are actually kind of a nice little break. I am traveling often out to our local communities, to all the communities within our impact benefit footprint area. I'm working with, tribal nations to build relationships and help ensure that they are benefiting from our project as well. Local businesses and economic development agencies to build a more robust and resilient community that can withstand, future mine life cycles. I'm working with local residents, the people who live on that access road we might be proposing to use to access our mine. Local nonprofit organizations. I get to work with lots of different nonprofit organizations, again, just with that goal in mind of building a really strong and resilient community. And we do all of these things, again, to build relationships with people. So you really have to show up at the table and be that conduit for feedback back and forth in between the community and the mining company to make sure that everyone's perspectives are heard, that we're considering all potential impacts, and that we're taking care of people. And again, building a project that really works for everyone. A lot of my job can also look like communication, so either managing our social media or writing our newsletter or other written content for media. I might be out on the site or in the community getting photos and videos to support that content. Planning events, that's a big part of my job too, so it's really fun and different. I do a lot also on the project development side, so making sure I'm working with our permitting teams and government agencies to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do and doing the outreach we need to do to make sure that the mine we propose is a strong project that really works for everyone. My favorite thing about working in the mining industry is just all the opportunities it provides. When I speak to students in schools, a game I like to play is tell me what you want to be when you grow up, and I will tell you how you can do that thing in mining. I've seen mining hire, everyone from the things you would expect, geologists and metallurgists and engineers, and every single trade under the sun. I've seen us hire nurses and teachers and lawyers and all the things. I even had a student explain to me how a biomedical engineer can work in the mining industry. It's really just so broad and so vast, and there's so many opportunities. Things that I thought I would never get the chance to do coming from a small town in Oregon, traveling the world, being just in rooms with elected officials and going to DC and doing all of that has really kind of opened my eyes up to the world a little bit more. Personally, mining was absolutely a game changer for my family financially. For me as a young person, it helps me afford a life, again, that I just never thought would be possible. I also met my wife in the mining industry, which you hear is a pretty common story. So another favorite thing I have about working in the mining industry is just that I feel like I'm doing something important every day. Aside from, yes, I'm helping and working with people and building strong communities, but what we do as an industry is so incredibly important. I really believe in the value of a modern domestic mining industry. I believe that if we mine here in the US, we have the environmental regulations, kind of the social expectations of how we treat our employees and the communities that we're working in. When we need to mine, we need these things for our modern future. And we can do them here. And I've seen the benefits that jobs in mining, how a mine opening in a community can really uplift that community. And it's really special to be part of that. And particularly as a young person, as a queer person, as an environmentally and socially minded person, as a woman in this industry, I really appreciate the opportunity to have my voice heard. And I definitely think mining's opening up to that more and more every day. If I could change one thing about the mining industry, what would it be and why? It would just be our perception, and that perception, granted, has been earned. The mining industry historically has not a great track record socially and environmentally, and I think that over the last couple of years with the pandemic and the supply chain disruptions that we've seen, I don't know that there's really been a time in recent history where the American public has been more aware of where the materials and products they use every day come from. And I think that the mining industry can do a better job of being transparent about the process that it takes to, discover, explore, permit, design, build mines, operate mines, close mine, the entire mine lifecycle process. I think we can also do a better job of continuing to open that door to new perspectives, rather than kind of trying to drill in and do things the way we've always done, or work against environmental organizations or against any dissenting opinions. How about we sit down and have a conversation? We can learn a lot from tribal leaders, from those environmental organizations, and really build things, projects that are stronger, more robust, more defensible, and better for people and the planet.